Luna's hands trembled as she gripped the mop handle, her knuckles turning pale against her brown skin. The crystal vase shattered across the marble floor of the Hawthorne estate, and Mrs. Eleanor Hawthorne's shrill voice cut through the air like a knife. "You clumsy, worthless girl, do you have any idea what that cost?" The other staff members scattered like frightened birds, leaving Luna alone in the grand foyer. Her heart pounded as the older woman's face twisted with rage, stepping closer with each venomous word. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Hawthorne. It was an accident. I'll pay for..." "Pay for it? With what? Your pathetic minimum wage?" The woman's laughter was cruel. "You people always break what you touch." Luna opened her mouth to apologize again when a deep, measured voice froze everyone in place. "Is there a problem here?" Luna's breath caught. Carlo Fontana stood in the doorway like a dark angel of retribution, his tailored black suit fitting his muscular frame perfectly, white shirt open at the collar, revealing a glimpse of an intricate tattoo on his neck. His presence dominated the room. Even Mrs. Hawthorne seemed to shrink. But what made Luna's heart stop wasn't his intimidating presence. It was the way his cold, calculating eyes swept the scene and landed on her with something that looked almost like recognition. What she didn't know was that this wasn't their first encounter. That fate had already woven their paths together years ago, that the most dangerous man in the city was about to repay a debt she didn't even know he owed. If you want to discover how this story began and what happened after this moment, subscribe to the channel and leave in the comments where you're watching from. Each view helps bring more stories like this one. 3 hours earlier, Luna had arrived at the Hawthorne mansion with the same quiet determination that got her through every day. At 26, she worked 3 jobs, cleaning houses during the day, waiting tables at night, and doing laundry on weekends. Every dollar she saved went toward 2 things: her mother's mounting medical bills and her younger brother Marcus's college tuition. The Hawthorne estate was her newest client. The pay was good, too good. Now scrubbing the pristine floors of this mansion in Greenwich, Connecticut, she understood why. Mrs. Eleanor Hawthorne was impossible to please. "Miss Martinez, you missed a spot near the window," the woman had said that morning, her voice dripping with disdain. "I suppose I shouldn't expect better from someone like you." Luna had bitten her tongue and re-cleaned the already spotless floor. She needed this job desperately. Her mother's lupus medication cost more each month than Luna made in 2 weeks, and Marcus was the first in their family to go to college, studying to become a doctor. Luna would scrub 1,000 floors to give him that chance. By afternoon, Luna's back ached and her hands were raw. She was refilling her mop bucket when she heard voices, lots of them. Men in expensive suits were arriving, transforming the mansion's atmosphere from merely wealthy to dangerously powerful. "What's happening?" Luna whispered to James, the elderly butler. "Mr. Hawthorne is hosting a business meeting," James replied quietly. "Very important people. Stay out of sight, Luna." Luna nodded, making herself invisible, but she couldn't help noticing them. These men who moved with lethal grace, whose eyes constantly scanned for threats. She was polishing a side table when she felt it, that prickling sensation of being watched. Luna glanced up and her breath caught. Carlo Fontana stood 20 feet away, completely still, staring at her with an intensity that made her skin flush. He was devastating. Tall and powerfully built, with dark hair, sharp cheekbones, and a perfectly groomed beard. His black suit was clearly custom-made, but it was his eyes that held her frozen. Dark, intelligent, and burning with something she couldn't name. Recognition impossible. She'd never seen him before in her life, yet something in his gaze suggested otherwise, like he was seeing a ghost. "Carlo, you coming?" another man called. The spell broke. Carlo's jaw tightened and he turned away, disappearing into the meeting, leaving her breathless and confused. Hours later, disaster struck. Luna was carrying cleaning supplies across the marble foyer when Mrs. Hawthorne's shrill voice made her jump. "You there, what do you think you're doing walking through the main entrance?" In her haste to move, Luna's hip bumped the antique side table. Time slowed as the crystal vase teetered and crashed to the floor in an explosion of glass. Mrs. Hawthorne descended the stairs with murderous intent. "You clumsy, worthless girl! That vase was a family heirloom worth more than you'll make in 10 years. "I'm so sorry," Luna whispered, dropping to her knees. Please. I'll pay for it. Pay for it with what? The woman's laughter was meant to humiliate. You people always break what you touch. You're fired. Get out before I call the police. Luna's heart plummeted. Fired. Blacklisted. The money she desperately needed for her mother's medication, for Marcus's tuition, gone. But even as panic clawed at her throat, Luna's pride kept her spine straight. She wouldn't beg. She wouldn't grovel. I understand, Luna said quietly, rising with dignity. I apologize for the accident. Mrs. Hawthorne's eyes narrowed, disappointed that Luna wasn't crying. Well, what are you waiting for? Is there a problem here? The voice was deep, calm, and absolutely lethal. Everyone froze. Carlo Fontana stood in the doorway, his dark eyes sweeping the scene. When his gaze met Luna's, something flickered. Recognition, concern, and barely restrained fury. Mrs. Hawthorne's arrogance wavered. Mr. Fontana, I was just dealing with an incompetent employee who destroyed a priceless heirloom. Carlo's gaze didn't leave Luna. What's your name? Luna Martinez, sir. Something crossed his face. Shock, perhaps, before his expression hardened. Stand up. Luna rose on shaking legs, acutely aware of her threadbare uniform, her worn shoes, the bleach smell clinging to her. Carlo turned to Mrs. Hawthorne, his voice cutting steel. How much was the vase worth? $50,000, an irreplaceable antique. Replaceable, then? Carlo made a quick call in Italian. My assistant will have an identical vase delivered tomorrow morning. Consider it resolved. Mrs. Hawthorne's mouth fell open. Mr. Fontana, that's generous, but the girl still needs to learn. The girl, Carlo interrupted dangerously, is not fired. In fact, Miss Martinez no longer works for you at all. Luna's heart hammered. What was happening? Carlo looked at her again with that strange recognition. You're coming with me. I? What? You heard me. He extended his hand, a command and an invitation. Unless you'd prefer to stay here scrubbing floors for people who don't appreciate you. How did he know anything about her? Mrs. Hawthorne sputtered. You can't just... Carlo turned to her with a look that made her fall silent. I suggest you remember who you're speaking to, Mrs. Hawthorne, and treat your staff better, or your husband's business might face unexpected complications. It was a clear threat delivered with casual ease. Luna stood frozen. Every instinct screamed this was insane, but something deeper whispered that this moment had been coming, that this wasn't coincidence at all. Why? Luna asked. You don't even know me. Carlo's eyes held hers, his expression cracking to reveal something raw. Don't I? Before Luna could process that, he turned to his men. Marco, bring the car around. Then back to Luna. I'm not forcing you, but if you come with me, I promise you'll never have to scrub another floor. Never have to choose between your mother's medication and your brother's education. Never have to bow to people who think they're better than you. He knew about her mother, about Marcus, about everything. But how? Her logical mind said this was dangerous, but her heart recognized something in his eyes, a connection she couldn't explain, and beneath it all, exhaustion from years of carrying everything alone. Maybe, just this once, she could let someone else help. Luna placed her hand in his. Carlo's fingers closed around hers, warm, strong, protective, and something shifted in the universe. Good choice, he murmured. As he led her toward the door, Luna glanced back at Mrs. Hawthorne's shocked face. She was walking into a world she didn't understand, but somehow she knew this was exactly where she was meant to be. The coincidences weren't coincidences at all. They were fate finally correcting a mistake made long ago. The ride happened in a blur of luxury. Carlo sat beside her in the black SUV, his presence overwhelming. You're afraid, Carlo said quietly. Luna turned to him. Shouldn't I be? I just got in a car with a man I don't know who apparently knows things about my life he shouldn't. A ghost of a smile crossed his lips. Fair point, but you're here anyway. Why? I don't know, Luna admitted. Something about the way you looked at me, like you recognized me. But I've never seen you before. She paused. Have I? Carlo was silent for a long moment, wrestling with something painful. Finally he spoke. 12 years ago, I was nobody. Just a 17-year-old kid running from people who wanted me dead. I'd been shot, bleeding out in an alley in the Bronx. Luna's breath caught. The Bronx, 12 years ago. A 14-year-old girl found me, Carlo continued roughly. She should have run. Instead, she took off her jacket, her only warm jacket in winter, and pressed it against my wound. She stayed with me talking, keeping me conscious until help arrived. Luna's mind spun backward, 14 years old, walking home from her job, finding a teenage boy bleeding, his dark eyes filled with pain and fear. I told her to run, Carlo said softly. Told her I was dangerous. You know what she said? Luna remembered. Oh God, she remembered. She said, "I'm not leaving you to die alone," Luna whispered. You. That was you. Carlo nodded. You saved my life that night, Luna Martinez. When you left, only because I made you promise to go home, I swore I would find you again, that I would repay the debt. Luna's hands trembled. I never told you my name. No. But you told me about your sick mother who needed medication, about your little brother who loved science and dreamed of being a doctor. Carlo's voice was thick. I spent 12 years looking for you. The Bronx is a big place and you didn't leave much of a paper trail. Why spend 12 years looking for someone who just did what anyone would do? Because you didn't do what anyone would do, Carlo said fiercely. You risked your life for a stranger when you had nothing. You gave me your jacket. You stayed when staying meant danger. He leaned closer. You showed me that loyalty and sacrifice still existed. You gave me hope when I'd lost all of it. Tears slipped down Luna's cheeks. I thought about you sometimes, wondered if you survived, but I never imagined. That the bleeding kid would become this? Carlo gestured to himself. After that night, I rebuilt myself from nothing. Everything I became was driven by the memory of a girl who chose kindness. I saw you today at the mansion, Luna said slowly. You recognized me immediately, didn't you? The moment I walked through the door. Carlo's hand moved as if to touch her face, then stopped. You've grown into the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, but your eyes are the same kindness, the same strength. This wasn't coincidence. You sent me to that house. No, Carlo said firmly. I didn't know you worked there. Today's meeting was scheduled weeks ago, seeing you there. He shook his head in wonder. That was fate. Destiny putting you in my path after all this time. What happens now? She asked quietly. Now I repay my debt. Your mother's medical bills, paid. Your brother's tuition, covered. Anything you need, it's yours. Luna's pride flared. I don't want charity. It's not charity, Carlo said softly. It's a debt repaid. You saved my life, Luna. Let me save yours. The SUV pulled up in front of a stunning apartment building in Manhattan's Upper East Side. Your new home, Carlo said, if you'll accept it. 23rd floor, 3 bedrooms. Safe, secure, yours. Carlo, I can't just... You can, he interrupted gently. You've spent 12 years sacrificing everything for everyone else. Let someone take care of you for once. Tears streamed down her face. Why does this feel like more than just repaying a debt? Carlo's eyes darkened. Because maybe it is. Maybe fate brought us together twice. Once so you could save my life, and once so I could save yours. I'm scared, Luna admitted. I know, Carlo said gently. But you were scared 12 years ago too, and you stayed anyway. Luna thought of her mother's medical bills, the constant fear, the exhaustion. She thought of Marcus, who deserved every opportunity. And she thought of the boy in the alley who'd made her believe kindness mattered. Okay, Luna whispered. I'll stay. Relief and joy flooded Carlo's features. He helped her from the car, and when their fingers touched, that electric connection sparked again. Luna's phone buzzed. Marcus. Luna, the university just called. Someone set up a full scholarship for me, all 4 years. Do you know anything about this? Luna's eyes found Carlo's. Yes, I know about it. This is a miracle, Marcus said, voice cracking. Whoever did this just changed our entire lives. After the call ended, silence filled the lobby. Luna stared at Carlo. I had my people check on your family while searching for you, Carlo said quietly. I know your mother's diagnosis, how hard you've worked. I know you visit the cemetery every month for your abuela, even though you can barely afford food. I know you gave your last $20 to a co-worker whose kid needed medicine. He stepped closer. I know who you are, Luna Martinez, and you're exactly who I thought you'd be. Loyal beyond reason. Beautiful inside and out. You investigated me. I searched for you, Carlo corrected. I needed to know you were okay. And when I saw you at that mansion today, taking abuse, I wanted to burn that place down. Luna saw the truth, the fury at seeing her disrespected, the protective instinct, the need to rewrite the injustice. This feels like a dream, Luna admitted. You're not dreaming. Carlo cupped her face gently. You're here, I'm here, and fate finally corrected us being separated for 12 years. What do you want from me, Carlo? Everything, he admitted rawly. Your time, your trust, your presence, the chance to know the woman you became. His thumb brushed her cheekbone. But I'll settle for whatever you're willing to give. And if I want to stay? To see where this leads? Carlo's eyes darkened. Then I spend every day proving I'm worth the second chance fate gave us. A loud buzz shattered the moment. Carlo tensed, reading a message. What is it? My cousin. A situation that requires my attention. Conflict clear in his gaze. I need to go, but... Go, Luna said. I'll be fine. Marco will stay outside your door. Don't open it for anyone except me. He moved toward the door, then turned back with pure vulnerability. Luna, thank you for giving me a chance. For being you. Then he was gone. Leaving Luna in her new apartment, new life, with a heart racing and mind spinning about destiny, and the strange pull toward a dangerous man she barely knew, but had saved 12 years ago. As the sun set over Central Park, Luna pressed her hand against the window. Somewhere out there, Carlo was dealing with dangers that came with being who he was, and impossibly, she was worried about him. Fate had brought them together twice. Luna had a feeling it wasn't done with them yet. Luna woke to the sound of a key turning in the lock. She bolted upright, heart pounding, before remembering where she was. The apartment was dark except for city lights. Carlo stepped through the door, suit jacket gone, white shirt partially unbuttoned and streaked with something dark. His knuckles were bruised, exhaustion lining his face. But when his eyes found her, relief flooded his expression. You're still here, he said quietly. You thought I'd leave. Luna stood. I thought you'd realize what being in my life means and run. Carlo's voice was raw. You should have. Luna studied him, this powerful man who suddenly looked vulnerable. What happened tonight? Nothing you need to worry about. That's blood on your shirt. Luna crossed to him, instinct overriding common sense. Are you hurt? It's not my blood. Carlo's eyes held hers. Luna, you should go to bed. Forget you saw me like this. Instead, Luna examined his bruised knuckles. You protected someone tonight. I can see it in your eyes, the same look from 12 years ago when you told me to run, to save myself. Carlo's breath caught. How can you possibly... Because I know you, Luna said softly. Maybe I don't know the man you became, but I know the boy who begged me to leave him so I'd be safe. That person is still there, isn't he? Carlo closed his eyes, and when he opened them, they shimmered. You shouldn't see good in me. You should see a monster and run. Why? Because you protected someone who couldn't protect themselves. You don't know what I've done? Then tell me, Luna interrupted. What happened tonight? Carlo wrestled with whether to burden her. Finally, one of my men has a daughter, 8 years old. His ex-wife's new boyfriend started getting rough with them. My guy came to me terrified. Carlo's voice hardened. I made sure the boyfriend understands that touching that woman or her child again would be the last thing he ever did. Good, Luna said firmly. Carlo's eyes widened. Good. Luna, I threatened... Protected a child, Luna finished. Defended someone who couldn't defend themselves. That's not monstrous. That's what you've always been. You have too much faith in me. Or you don't have enough in yourself. Luna's fingers brushed his hair back. You've spent 12 years thinking you became a monster, but you became someone who protects, who remembers kindness, who spent years searching for a girl who showed compassion. Carlo's control shattered. His hand covered hers against his face, eyes closing. I don't deserve your faith. Not after everything I've done. Maybe we're both getting more than we deserve. Maybe that's how fate works. Carlo's eyes opened, raw emotions stealing her breath. I wanted to repay the debt and walk away. But standing here with you, feeling your hands on my face, seeing you look at me like I'm not a monster, I can't. I can't walk away. Then don't, Luna whispered. My world is violent, dangerous. My enemies would use you if they knew. He stopped, jaw clenched. Knew what? That you matter, Carlo admitted roughly. That in one day, you've become more important than 12 years of building an empire. That the thought of you being hurt makes me want to destroy anyone who'd consider it. His hand cradled her face. You've always mattered, Luna. But now... He didn't finish, but he didn't need to. Luna felt it too. I'm scared, Luna admitted, of your world, of this feeling that's too intense too fast. You should be. You should walk away. But I won't. Luna's voice was steady. Because 12 years ago, I chose to stay with a stranger even though it was dangerous. And I'm choosing to stay now. Why take this risk? Because, Luna said softly, I don't think it's coincidence we found each other again. I think we're supposed to be in each other's lives. I think this is destiny finishing what it started. Destiny, Carlo repeated with wonder. You believe in that? I believe a 14-year-old girl found a dying boy, and that encounter changed both their lives. I believe you spent 12 years searching. I believe we were brought together at exactly the right moment. Luna's eyes held his. If that's not destiny, I don't know what is. Carlo pulled her into a protective embrace. Luna melted into him, feeling his heart hammering. I'll protect you, Carlo murmured. From my enemies, from my world, from anything that tries to hurt you. I swear it. I know, Luna whispered. They stood in darkness, two people connected by past and present, by sacrifice and destiny. Luna's phone rang. Her mother. At 11 p.m. Her heart stopped. Mama? Luna answered in Spanish, fear flooding her voice. Mija, I'm sorry to call so late. I'm at the hospital, my kidneys... Luna's world tilted. I'm coming. Which hospital? St. Luke's, but Mija... I'm on my way, Luna said, already moving. Carlo was beside her. What happened? My mother, hospital, her kidneys are failing. Luna's voice cracked. We're taking my car, Carlo said firmly. Marco. The bodyguard appeared instantly. St. Luke's Hospital, now. In the car, Luna's hands shook. I can't lose her, she's all I have. She and Marcus, they're everything. Carlo's arm wrapped around her. You won't lose her, I promise. Luna, you won't. Luna tried calling Marcus but got voicemail. He's at his girlfriend's, he doesn't know... Carlo gently took her phone. Give me his number. I'll have someone pick him up. The drive took 15 minutes, though it felt like hours. Luna sat rigid, memories flooding her mind. Her mother working 2 jobs, sitting with her through nightmares, being diagnosed but never complaining. She sacrificed everything for us, Luna said aloud, and I still couldn't give her the life she deserved. That changes tonight, Carlo said firmly. Whatever she needs, the best specialists, experimental treatments, transplant if necessary, she'll have it. Luna turned to him, tears streaming. Why? Why would you do all this? Because 12 years ago, you gave me everything when you had nothing, because your loyalty to your family mirrors the loyalty you showed a stranger. His voice dropped. And because seeing you in pain makes me want to move heaven and earth to fix it. The SUV screeched to a halt. Luna ran through the doors, Carlo behind her. Rosa Martinez, Luna gasped at the desk. Room 347, 3rd floor. Luna burst in to find her mother pale and exhausted, IV in her arm, monitors beeping. Mama, Luna breathed, rushing to her side. Rosa's eyes opened, managing a weak smile despite pain. Mija, you didn't have to come so late. Don't, Luna said firmly, taking her hand. You're in the hospital. The doctors say I need dialysis, maybe for life. My kidneys. She stopped, seeing the tall man in the doorway. Who? This is Carlo Fontana, Luna said. He's a friend. He drove me. Rosa's eyes narrowed in that way only mothers could manage. A doctor entered, young, harried, then stopped, eyes widening as he recognized Carlo. His face went pale. Carlo's voice carried absolute authority. Doctor, Mrs. Martinez is now under your personal care. I want the head of nephrology consulted immediately. Run every test. Explore every treatment option. Money is no object. The doctor nodded quickly. Yes, Mr. Fontana. I'll page Dr. Chen right away. As he scurried away, Rosa stared at Carlo with confusion and understanding. Mr. Fontana. Luna, what is happening? Carlo stepped forward. Mrs. Martinez. 12 years ago, your daughter saved my life. I've spent those years trying to find her so I could repay that debt. She showed me kindness when I had nothing. Please let me help your family. Rosa's eyes filled with tears. The scholarship for Marcus, the anonymous donor, was me, Carlo confirmed. Your daughter is extraordinary. It's an honor to help her family. Rosa squeezed Luna's hand. Mija, what have you gotten yourself into? I don't know, Mama, Luna admitted, but I trust him. The words hung heavy with meaning. Over the next hours, the hospital transformed. Dr. Chen arrived, a renowned specialist. Tests were run, a comprehensive plan developed. Marco appeared with Marcus, who rushed to his mother's bedside. Luna watched her brother's confusion turn to relief, watched her mother's fear ease, watched Carlo orchestrating everything from the shadows. Near dawn, when Rosa was resting and Marcus had fallen asleep, Luna found Carlo in the hallway, staring out a window. Thank you, Luna said softly, for all of this, for her. Carlo turned. Your mother raised the girl who saved my life. Taking care of her is the least I can do. It's more than that, though, isn't it? You helped because seeing me scared hurt you. Yes, watching you terrified, powerless, breaking apart. He stopped. I would have bought the entire hospital if it meant taking away your pain. Luna's heart hammered. I don't know how to accept help without feeling like I'm giving up my independence. It's real, Carlo said, cupping her face. I'm real. This connection. It's the realest thing I've felt in 12 years. Luna leaned into his touch. What happens now? Now you rest. You let me take care of your mother's treatment. You accept you don't have to carry everything alone. His thumb brushed her cheekbone. And you give us a chance to see where this leads. No pressure. Just two people connected by fate, figuring out what that means. Luna nodded, too tired to fight. As the sun rose over New York, Luna realized everything had changed. Her mother was getting the best care. Her brother would finish college without debt. And she was standing with a dangerous man who looked at her like she was precious. Fate had brought them together 12 years ago, and now fate was giving them a second chance. 2 weeks later, Luna stood in Carlo's penthouse kitchen, flour dusting her hands as she pulled cinnamon rolls from the oven. Through the windows, Manhattan sparkled, but Luna's focus was on getting the icing perfect. Her life had become surreal. Her mother was thriving on a new treatment, kidney function improving. Marcus was excelling at school, and Luna was discovering what it felt like to breathe without constant weight crushing her. She'd moved into the Upper East Side apartment, though she spent most evenings at Carlo's penthouse. Not because he demanded it, but because being near him felt right. Something smells incredible. Carlo's voice came from behind her. Luna turned, breath catching. He'd changed into jeans and a black t-shirt, hair damp from a shower. Cinnamon rolls, Luna said, my abuela's recipe. Carlo moved closer. The same abuela whose grave you visit every month with flowers you couldn't afford? Luna's hands stilled. You really did investigate everything. I searched for you, Carlo corrected gently. And yes, I learned everything. Including that your abuela taught you to bake, told you food made with love could heal wounds, and believed you'd have your own bakery someday. Tears pricked Luna's eyes. She died 2 weeks before I could tell her about culinary school, before I had to drop out for Marcus's tuition. Carlo's thumb caught her tear. What if you didn't have to give up that dream? Carlo, there's a storefront in your old neighborhood. Small but good bones, the owner's retiring. No, Luna interrupted, stepping back. You've already done so much. I can't let you buy me a bakery. Carlo's eyes flashed with hurt. Why not? Because I need to do something on my own. Luna's voice cracked. You've given me everything and I'm grateful. But I need to feel like I earned something, like I'm not just... She stopped. Just what? Carlo's voice was quiet, dangerous. Just someone I'm taking care of out of obligation, out of pity. I don't know. Luna turned away. I don't know what I am to you, Carlo. We're not dating. We're not anything. I'm just someone you owe. And I don't know where I stand or what happens when you decide the debt is paid. Silence. Then Carlo's hands were on her shoulders, turning her around. His eyes burned. You want to know what you are to me? His voice was rough, raw. You're the girl who saved my life when she had every reason to walk away. You're the woman who spent 12 years sacrificing everything without complaint. You're the person who looks at me and sees someone worth believing in. He stepped closer. You're the reason I wake up in the morning, the reason I come home, the first person I think of when something good happens, and the only person I want when everything goes wrong. Luna's breath caught, heart hammering. I didn't buy you that apartment to repay a debt, Carlo continued fiercely. I bought it because the thought of you struggling made me insane. I'm not paying for your mother's treatment out of obligation. I'm doing it because seeing you terrified broke something in me. His hands framed her face. And if I could buy you a bakery, it wouldn't be charity. It would be giving you the dream you sacrificed. Carlo, Luna whispered, I know we haven't defined this, but don't think this is about a debt. This is about... He stopped, jaw clenching. About what? Carlo's eyes held hers. About falling for you. About being completely, impossibly in love with the woman you became. About wanting to give you the world, not because I owe you, but because seeing you happy makes me happier than anything I've accomplished in 12 years. Luna's world tilted. You're in love with me. Hopelessly, Carlo admitted. I tried to keep distance, tried to help from afar. But Luna, spending these weeks with you, I've never felt like this. Never wanted something as much as I want a future with you. Luna's hands covered his. I'm scared. Your world is dangerous and I'm just the bravest person I know, Carlo interrupted. Just someone who's faced more challenges than most face in a lifetime and never gave up. Just the woman who makes me want to be better. A loud crash from the living room shattered the moment. Carlo's demeanor changed instantly, from vulnerable to lethal. He pushed Luna behind him. Stay here, he ordered. Boss! Marco's urgent voice. We've got a situation. Someone breached the lobby. Carlo turned to Luna, eyes fierce. Bedroom, now, lock the door. Carlo, just listen. Luna, please. His voice cracked with desperation. I can't focus if I'm terrified for your safety. Go. The fear in his eyes decided her. Luna ran to the bedroom, locking the door and pressing her ear against it. Voices, shouts, then, Where is she? Where's my sister? Luna's heart stopped. Marcus. She yanked open the door and ran back, where her brother stood surrounded by bodyguards, face flushed with anger. Luna! Marcus's relief was palpable, but his eyes went to Carlo with fury. Are you okay? Did he hurt you? What? No! Luna rushed to him. Marcus, what are you doing here? I know who he is. Marcus gestured at Carlo. Carlo Fontana, head of the Fontana crime family. Luna? He's a mobster, and you're just living with him. Marcus, stop, Luna said firmly. I did research after the hospital, Marcus continued, voice rising. This man is dangerous. He's a criminal. You need to get away from him. Now. Luna felt Carlo tense. She looked between her terrified brother and the man she'd admitted she was falling for. Marcus, Luna said quietly, what Carlo does is complicated, but he's not holding me here. He's not hurting me. He's manipulating you. Can't you see? He's using you. The words echoed Luna's own fears. She felt Carlo go perfectly still. Your brother is right, Carlo said quietly, emotionless. He's absolutely right, Luna. This is dangerous. Being associated with me puts you at risk. He's smart to want you away. Carlo, Luna started. I've been selfish. keeping you close when I should have kept distance, letting myself fall for you when I should have helped from afar and disappeared. Carlo's eyes met hers, pain making her chest ache. Your brother loves you. He wants you safe, and the safest thing is to be as far from me as possible. That's not what I want, Luna said desperately. It's what you should want, Carlo said, control cracking. You should want a normal life with a good man who doesn't have enemies, who doesn't have blood on his hands, who can take you to dinner without worrying about being ambushed. Who isn't you? Luna interrupted fiercely. That's what you're really saying. Carlo's jaw clenched. Yes. Well, I don't. Luna turned to Marcus. Marcus, I love you. I love that you want to protect me. But I'm not a naive girl. I know who Carlo is. I know his world is dangerous. And I'm choosing to stay anyway. Luna, you can't be serious. He spent 12 years looking for me, Luna said quietly. 12 years remembering kindness and wanting to repay it. He's taken care of Mama, given you a scholarship, and never asked for anything except my presence. He makes me feel safe, valued, like I matter for who I am, not what I can do for others. He's a criminal. He's a man who protects people who can't protect themselves, Luna countered, who built power so he could defend the defenseless, who looks at me like I'm precious. She took a breath. I'm not saying his world isn't dangerous. I'm saying he's worth the risk. Silence except for Marco clearing his throat. Boss, we should clear the floor. Carlo nodded, and the bodyguards melted away. Marcus stood there, looking between them with growing understanding. You love him, Marcus said quietly. Oh God, Luna, you actually love him. Luna hadn't said the words aloud yet, but hearing them made them real. She looked at Carlo, saw the raw vulnerability, the desperate hope. Yes, Luna admitted, I do. Carlo's breath shuddered, eyes closing briefly. When they opened, they burned. Marcus, Carlo said, voice rough, I can't promise your sister won't be in danger. My world is violent, but I can promise I will protect her with everything I have, that I will die before I let anyone hurt her, that every resource, every connection, every ounce of power will be used to keep her safe. He stepped closer to Luna, cupping her face. And I can promise I love her more than I've loved anything, that she's the reason I want to be better, that if she chooses me, I will spend every day proving I'm worth the risk. Tears streamed down Luna's face as Carlo's forehead pressed against hers. Ti amo, Luna Martinez. I love you. I've loved you since you pressed your jacket to my wound. I'll love you until my last breath. Luna's hands framed his face, thumbs brushing away his tear. I love you too. I'm terrified, and this is happening fast, but I love you. Carlo's kiss was gentle, reverent, full of promise and hope. Luna melted into him, feeling 12 years of searching and weeks of growing connection crystallize into this perfect moment. When they broke apart, Marcus was staring with exasperation and reluctant acceptance. I don't like this, Marcus said firmly. I think you're both insane, but you're my sister. I've watched you sacrifice everything your entire life. If this is what you want, if he makes you happy, I'll support you, but he turned to Carlo, voice hardening. If you hurt her, I don't care how powerful you are. I will find a way to make you pay. Carlo's lips twitched with respect. Fair enough. I'd expect nothing less. After Marcus left, Luna and Carlo stood in the wreckage, the abandoned roles, the interrupted declarations, the reality of what they were choosing. He's right, Luna said quietly. This is insane. We've known each other 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks now, and 5 minutes 12 years ago. Completely insane, Carlo agreed, pulling her close. We're rushing into something that could end in disaster. My enemies will target you. Your family will worry. We'll face challenges that would break most couples. So why does it feel so right? Because fate doesn't care about logic, Carlo murmured. Because sometimes a 14-year-old saves a stranger, and 12 years later, that stranger gets to save her back. Because destiny is rarely convenient or safe, but it's always worth it. Luna looked up at him. What happens now? Carlo tucked hair behind her ear. Now we figure this out together. You keep baking, I keep falling more in love with you, and we see where this leads. No more talk of debts. Just two people who found each other against all odds, choosing each other despite all logic. I'm going to need you to be patient with me, Luna said. I'm still learning how to accept help without feeling guilty. I'll be patient, Carlo promised. I spent 12 years searching for you. I can spend 12 more proving I'm worth your faith. Luna kissed him softly. You don't have to prove anything. You already did. 12 years of remembering, of searching, of building a life trying to honor kindness. That's not monstrous, that's loyalty. Carlo's arms tightened, and Luna felt him shake with emotion. This powerful, dangerous man was trembling because she believed in him. Stay with me tonight, Carlo whispered. Not in the guest room. Here. With me. Luna knew what he was asking. Confirmation that this was real, that she was choosing him. Okay, Luna said simply. They spent the night curled together, talking until dawn about everything and nothing. Luna told him about her abuela's stories, about Marcus's projects, about her mother's strength. Carlo told her about rebuilding himself, about the mentor who'd taken him in, about balancing protection with staying human. As the sun rose, painting the sky gold and pink, Luna realized this quiet intimacy, this deep connection, this sense of being truly known, was what she'd been searching for, not wealth or security or escape, but someone who saw her completely and loved every part. What are you thinking? Carlo asked, fingers tracing patterns on her back. That fate has excellent timing, Luna said, smiling. Terrible timing for drama, but excellent for bringing us together. Carlo's laugh was warm. Agreed, though I could have done without your brother's near heart attack. He'll come around, Luna said. Once he sees how you look at me, how happy you make me. And how do I look at you? Luna met his gaze. Like I'm your destiny. Like you've been waiting your whole life to find me again. Like loving me is the easiest and most terrifying thing you've ever done. All true, Carlo admitted. Every single word. As they lay together, two people connected by kindness 12 years ago, and fate's determination to bring them together again, Luna understood something fundamental. Love wasn't always logical. Destiny didn't always make sense. But sometimes the universe brought two people together at exactly the right moment for exactly the right reasons. And when that happened, all you could do was hold on tight and trust that fate knew what it was doing. Luna was finally ready to do exactly that. 18 months later, Luna stood in her bakery, Abuela's kitchen, watching customers line up down the block. The small storefront in her old Bronx neighborhood had become a community gathering place. Carlo had bought the building, but Luna had insisted on a business plan and repayment schedule. He'd agreed with that small smile that said he'd forgive the entire debt in a heartbeat if she'd let him. They'd been married for 6 months, a small ceremony with family and close friends in the church where her grandmother used to pray. Luna wore her abuela's rosary, and Carlo said his vows in Spanish to honor her mother. The bakery had a private apartment above where they stayed several nights a week, preferring its cozy warmth to Carlo's penthouse when they wanted to feel grounded. Her mother lived in the Upper East Side apartment now, healthy and thriving, watching over Marcus when he came home from medical school. Amor, Carlo's voice came from the doorway. Luna turned to find her brother standing awkwardly, medical school backpack over one shoulder. Marcus, what are you doing here? Had a break between rotations, Marcus said, then paused. Actually, that's not true. I skipped today because I wanted to talk to you, both of you. Luna exchanged a glance with Carlo, who leaned against the counter with controlled calm. What's going on? Marcus took a breath. I wanted to apologize. For 18 months ago. For the things I said. For not trusting you to make your own choices. Marcus. Let me finish, her brother interrupted gently. I've watched you these past months. Watched you build this bakery the neighborhood loves. Watched you with Mama. Watched you and Carlo together. He turned to Carlo. And I've watched how you look at my sister, how you protect her, how you've never tried to change her, even though you probably could. Carlo's expression remained neutral, but Luna saw his hands clench. I was wrong, Marcus continued. I judged you based on what I'd read, on your reputation, on assumptions. But I didn't look at what mattered. How you treat the people you love. How you've given our family everything without asking for anything. He extended his hand to Carlo. Thank you for loving her, for protecting her, for being the kind of man who spent 12 years searching for someone who showed him kindness. That's not criminal. That's honor. Carlo stared at the hand before taking it, grip firm. Your sister is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Protecting her, loving her, it's not a burden, it's a privilege. They shook hands, and Luna saw years of tension finally release. After Marcus left, Carlo pulled Luna into his arms. That was unexpected, he murmured. Good unexpected, Luna said. My brother approves. My mother adores you. The neighborhood has adopted you. Carlo's laugh rumbled. Your mother keeps trying to set up my cousins with her friends' daughters. That's because you fixed Mrs. Alvarez's roof and paid for Mr. Chen's cancer treatment, Luna pointed out. You've become the neighborhood guardian angel. I'm hardly an angel. No, Luna agreed, looking up at him. You're a man who built power so you could protect people, who remembered kindness for 12 years, who loves with fierce loyalty. She kissed him. You're my angel, the dark, dangerous, complicated one who showed up exactly when I needed him. Carlo's arms tightened. I spent 12 years searching. Sometimes I thought I'd never find you. And then fate put us in the same room at exactly the right moment, Luna finished, when I needed someone to defend me. When you needed someone who still saw the boy beneath the power. When we both needed proof that coincidences aren't always random. You don't believe in coincidences anymore. No, Luna said softly. I believe in destiny, in fate, in the universe knowing exactly what it's doing. She paused, hand moving to rest over her stomach. And I believe it's about to bring us someone else. Carlo froze, eyes wide, breath catching. Luna. Are you saying... I'm pregnant, Luna whispered. About 8 weeks. Carlo's hands framed her face with infinite gentleness, eyes shimmering. A baby. We're having a baby. Are you happy? Luna asked nervously. Happy? Carlo's laugh was choked. Luna, I'm terrified and overwhelmed and more grateful than I have words for. A child. Our child. Someone who'll have your kindness and strength. And your loyalty and protection and fierce love, Luna added, tears falling. We're going to be parents. Carlo pulled her close, lips pressing against her forehead, cheeks, finally her mouth in a kiss that tasted of promise and joy and destiny fulfilled. When they broke apart, Carlo's hand rested gently over her stomach. I'm going to protect you both with everything I have. Nothing will ever hurt you. I know, Luna said because she did. That night, lying in their apartment with Carlo's hand protectively over her stomach and neighborhood sounds drifting through the window, Luna thought about their journey. A 14-year-old girl finding a dying stranger and choosing kindness. A 17-year-old boy remembering that kindness and searching for 12 years. Fate bringing them together when they both needed it most. Love blooming between two people who understood loyalty and sacrifice. And now, a new life, a new generation born into a family built on fierce protection and unconditional love. What are you thinking, Amor? Carlo murmured sleepily. That we're exactly where we're meant to be, Luna whispered. That every sacrifice, every struggle, every moment of the past 12 years led us here. To this, to each other, to our future. Carlo pressed a kiss to her shoulder. No regrets. Not a single one, Luna said honestly. Loving you was the easiest choice I ever made. Even when it was terrifying, even when it defied logic. It was right. Destiny, Carlo murmured. Destiny, Luna agreed. As they drifted to sleep, Luna's last thought was gratitude for the universe that had brought them together twice, for the love that had grown despite all obstacles, and for the future they were building. A future built on loyalty, sacrifice, and the unshakable belief that some people are meant to find each other no matter how long it takes. Their love story had started in a bloody alley 12 years ago with a single act of kindness, and it would continue for generations, a testament to the power of choosing love even when love chose the hardest path. This story has come to an end. If it touched your heart in some way, leave your like and share it with someone who also enjoys emotional stories. New stories arrive soon. Until next time.